No one ever tells you what silence sounds like inside an interstellar headquarters. It isn't quiet, it presses. The Galactic Concord headquarters floated above the sapphire clouds of Varelia Prime, a structure of silver arcs and gravity-defying spires designed to intimidate and inspire awe in equal measure. Entire civilizations had surrendered after seeing this place for the first time. Wars had ended in its chambers. Species with teeth, claws, acid, blood, or telepathic dominion all walked its halls with careful steps, and on that day, every single one of them stopped moving, because the daughter of the alien, Queen, was running straight toward me. I stood near the far wall of the Grand Assembly Hall, wearing the plain grey uniform of a human cultural liaison. No medals, no rank insignia that mattered here. Humans were still new to the Concord, still watched, still judged. We had survived first contact, survived the testing, survived the quiet fear other species had of how fast we adapted, but we were not powerful, not compared to her. Princess Zellerai of the Throneloom dynasty was barely 8 cycles old by Varelian standards, which translated to something like a human child of 6 or 7. Her species matured slowly, but even as a child she radiated authority. Bioluminescent veins glowed softly beneath her translucent cerulean skin. Her eyes too many pupils, too much awareness, command veteran admirals into silence. She was the Queen's only child. Her safety protocols had entire fleets dedicated to them, and now she had broken away from her escort detail. Security drones snapped to life. Energy shields flickered into readiness. Concord guards, some 3 meters tall, some armored in bone plating, trished for weapons that could level cities. Time slowed. The Queen rose from her throne, and the child leaped into my arms. She wrapped her small, glowing limbs around my neck and buried her face against my shoulder, like she'd done it 1,000 times before. "I found you," Zellerai chirped, her voice musical and bright. "You said you'd be here." The universe stopped breathing. I didn't move, didn't speak, didn't even swallow, because one wrong motion would get me disintegrated on the spot. Queen Thalzira's aura filled the chamber, a psychic pressure that bent light and will alike. Her voice echoed not through the air, but directly inside every mind present. "Human," she said slowly, dangerously. "Explain." I raised my hands, carefully palms open, fingers spread. Zellerai tightened her grip, humming softly, utterly unafraid. "My name is Daniel Reyes," I said, forcing calm into my voice. "I work with the Refugee Outreach Division. I met the princess during the evacuation on Station K-17. The name hit the room like a shockwave. Station K-17 had been lost 3 cycles ago. A mining hub on the fringe. Pirate raid. Reactor breach. Complete destruction. Over 30 species dead, including according to official reports. The Queen's daughter. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Queen Thalzira's eyes narrowed. Her glow intensified, shifting from cool blue to blazing ultraviolet. "My daughter was retrieved by Royal Commandos," she said. "She was never reported missing." Zellerai lifted her head and frowned. "That's not true, Mother. The big soldiers didn't come. Everything was loud and broken and scary." She looked up at me, eyes wide. "But he came." The memories surged back, whether I wanted them or not. K-17 had been hell. The station was tearing itself apart, gravity fluctuating, hull plates buckling. I wasn't even assigned there, just a human volunteer. Transport pilot answering a distress call no one else had the time or resources to handle. I found her in a maintenance crawl space, curled up, shaking, glowing, so brightly it hurt my eyes. Every instinct screamed to run. I'd been briefed on royal biology, on the danger, on the political consequences. Instead, I took off my helmet, sat down on the floor, and said, "Hey, it's okay. I've got you." She'd crawled into my lap without hesitation. I carried her for 3 hours through fire, vacuum breaches, and collapsing corridors, wrapped her in my jacket, sang half-remembered songs my mother used to hum. When the power went out back on Earth, when the royal extraction ship finally arrived, they didn't thank me. They took her and ordered me to forget. I stayed with her until your people arrived. I said quietly, I didn't know who she was. I just knew she was a kid who needed help. The Queen studied me in silence. Zalari squirmed and turned toward her mother. He held my hand the whole time. When the lights went out, he told me humans are good at the dark. A tremor ran through the Queen's bioluminescence. You touched my daughter, Thalsira said. The Concord guards tensed. I nodded once. Yes, Your Majesty. You sang too. Her, yes. You disobeyed evacuation. Protocols, yes. The Queen stepped down from her throne. Every step echoed like judgment. She stopped in arms, length from me, close enough that I could feel the heat of her energy field, close enough that if she decided I was a threat, I would cease to exist before my brain registered pain. Then she did something no one expected. She knelt, lowered herself to her daughter's level. Did he harm you? She asked gently. Zalari shook her head hard. No, he kept me safe. He promised he wouldn't leave. The Queen looked at me again, and for the first time, the psychic pressure eased. You made a promise to a royal child, she said. I kept it, I replied. I'm here. A long pause followed. Then Queen Thalsira straightened and turned to the assembled leaders. Admirals and diplomats of 1,000 worlds, let it be recorded, she declared, voice ringing with absolute authority, that the life of my daughter stands today because a human refused to follow orders. Murmurs exploded across the chamber. Let it be recorded, she continued, that humanity understands something many ancient species have forgotten. She looked down at Zalari, who was still holding on to me like a lifeline. That power means nothing if you abandon your children. The Queen extended one long, luminous hand toward me. I hesitated only a fraction of a second before taking it. Her grip was warm, steady. Daniel Reyes, she said. By royal decree, you are henceforth named guardian friend of the throne loom heir. The words slammed into the chamber like thunder. A human named protector of a royal alien child. The political ramifications alone were staggering. Zalari squealed and hugged me tighter. See, I told you they'd let you stay. I finally laughed, soft, disbelieving, a little shaky, around us. The galaxy recalculated everything it thought it knew about humans, not because we were stronger, not because we were smarter, but because when a child ran toward danger, we ran toward them too. And sometimes, that was enough to change the universe. Asterisk.